Hello, my dear children. So today we will be looking at a poem which is a part of the class 10 CBSE syllabus, Dust of Snow. It is a poem by Robert Frost. It's a wonderful poem. Now, the central idea of this poem is the healing power of nature. In this poem, there are two things that the writer tried to show. First is the healing power of nature. Secondly, breaking the stereotype, what we call it today, breaking the stereotype. Or you can also say that he is breaking down the age-old belief or the prejudice or the superstitions that people have attached to nature. Like often we say that, a black cat crossing your way is considered to be not so good, is considered to be a bad omen. So the poet tries to break all these things. As we all know that Robert Frost writes about ordinary affairs, day-to-day affairs of ordinary life. So let's look at the poem. It's a poem that has just 2 stanzas. Each stanza has got 4 lines. Let's read the poem. So the poem is Dust of Snow, and the poet starts with, "The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree." So here he's talking about the way that dust of snow was falling down on him. That means, of course, it is not mentioned where the poet is right now, but if the dust of snow is falling on him, that means the poet is under the shade of the hemlock tree. Although a hemlock tree is not that big a tree, but then he's under the shade of that hemlock tree. So he's saying the way that crow sat on the hemlock tree, he shook the branches and the dust of snow fell on me. The way the dust of snow fell on me, and the dust of snow was on a hemlock tree, which is again a poisonous tree. Again, in the very next stanza, we see that the poet is saying this act of the dust of snow falling on him has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Now he's saying this entire action of the dust of snow falling on him has changed his mood and it has saved the rest of the day. The rest of the day means till now he has wasted his day in repentance. Maybe he has done something, he's not in a good mood, he has done something, he's having repentance, he's having regret for something. So the dust of snow has actually changed his mind from, a regretful mind or a repentance mind to a positive one, where he understood that maybe repenting is not the solution and I have to put my action into practicality, right? So has saved the rest of the day. Now there are 2 things to look at, my dear children. The first thing is, here the poet is talking about the healing power of nature. It often happens to us also that whenever we are going out somewhere and it's a very, very hot day and suddenly, a cool breeze of air starts to, there's a cool breeze of air and we feel very, very comfortable. Suddenly, our anger, our frustration or our tiredness, it all goes away because nature has that power. We are sync with nature, right? Or maybe there's a little shower of rain and we, suddenly start feeling refreshed. We suddenly start feeling positive. So same as the thing that happened with the poet as well. Again, there's one more thing that needs to be paid attention to, and that is a hemlock tree and the crow. Generally, crow is symbolized to be a bad omen. Since we are reading about, these writers who are Western writers, so we need to look at their philosophy as well. Whereas in India also, I don't think so, crow is considered to be auspicious anywhere. So crow, particularly, it's a black bird. It is not a bird which has a nice sound, which has a nice voice, right? It sounds very shrilling to the ears. So it is not at all considered to be either a beautiful bird or a bird with a nice a voice, right? So similarly, crow is a bad omen as well as hemlock tree, which is a poisonous tree. Generally, writers write about more beautiful trees like oak, pine. But here he has particularly mentioned about these 2 things because I again will emphasize on the same point that the poet wants to break the barrier, the poet wants to break the stereotype, and the poet wants to question the age-old prejudice that even a crow and a hemlock tree, a crow's action of shaking the hemlock tree, and the dust of snow falling from a hemlock tree, which is considered to be poisonous, can actually give positivity to the poet. So in turn, we can say that nature is ever healing, ever giving, and we should not look at it like a bad omen or a good omen. It is always healing. It is always, always giving. That was the entire gist of the poetry. I hope you have understood it well. Thank you so much.